Hi, this is Soothe from Music Radar, and today I'm taking a look at Oeksound Bloom. Oeksound is a developer from Finland who you might know for its resonance suppressor plugin Soothe. Its latest plugin Bloom dropped earlier this year. Like Soothe, Bloom is an adaptive plugin, but where Soothe is designed to sort out problem frequencies, Bloom is all about bringing out the best in your audio and adding warmth and character. Oeksound described Bloom as an adaptive tone shaper. In practice, this combines elements of EQ and compression. What makes Bloom different from a classic EQ or compressor is the fact that it can be adaptive, so it can target different frequencies, but it also responds to the audio that you feed into it. You might use Bloom in place of a multiband compressor, dynamic EQ, or saturator to sort out problems in your track. This is the Bloom UI. We have pretty much everything here in one window. These 4 bands let us apply boosts and cuts targeted across the frequency spectrum. We can have these in linked, stereo mode, or mid-side mode. This attack and release control adjusts the timing of the processor. Down the bottom we have this processor graph. Here we can apply low or high pass filtering to the output, but it also gives us really handy visual feedback in real time of what Bloom is doing. Over to the left we have this amount control, which lets us dial in the effect. There are some further options along the bottom of the interface too, which I'll explore in a minute. But let's see what Bloom can do in action. Here I've got an idea for a little down-tempo track that I put together in Ableton Live. It mixes a few electronic and acoustic sound sources, so it's really good for us to explore what Bloom can do. These elements are sounding pretty nice together already, but there's a few places we can use Bloom to tighten things up and make everything gel a bit more. First, let's take a look at this acoustic guitar, which is providing the main melody of the track. The recording sounds alright as it is, but it's a little bit flat and we could use bringing it to life a little. One thing that's really nice about Bloom is it's got this bank of factory presets. These aren't always going to work perfectly for everything in your track, but they can provide a really nice jumping off point. I'm going to start here with this acoustic guitar preset and see how this sounds on our acoustic. Let's bypass this to hear the difference. I'm going to increase the amount so we can hear the effect a little bit more. This sounds pretty nice as it is, but I want to bring out some more of those high frequencies. So I'm going to use the highs here and provide a little bit of a boost. The nice thing about using Bloom on something like this is that because it's adaptive, we can boost those high frequencies without worrying about harsh treble. Next, let's take a look at these acoustic drums. Let's listen to them on their own. I like the sound of the recording in general. The mid-range elements like the snare and the stick are sounding really nice, but I think that kick could use a bit more weight and presence. Let's load up another instance of Bloom. So that kick is lacking a bit of power and we're also getting some boxy frequencies. To start, I'm going to put a bit of a boost here to emphasize the key frequencies of that kick. Now I'm going to cut the low mids to sort out that boxiness. This headphone icon here is really handy. This lets us solo exactly what Bloom is doing to this frequency band. We can use this to identify the boxy frequencies and also make sure we're not cutting anything out of that nice snare. While I'm here, I'm also going to add a little high boost to bring some of those hats out more. Because I'm working on drums here, I'm going to turn up the attack a little. This means that we're not going to overly squash transients. I'm also going to turn up this amount dial. You can see that when we get past a certain threshold, Bloom starts applying a bit of a squash here, and it does this through a mixture of upward and downward compression. This is sounding good, but because it's now quite an extreme treatment, I'm going to mix this in parallel using the dry-wet mix down here. Let's bypass that to hear the effect. This filtered synth sound is a background element designed to sit behind our acoustic guitar. I'm going to use Bloom to push this out to the sides of the stereo field. To do this, I'm going to use the mid-side split. First, I'm going to look at these side signals. I'm going to provide a boost here to emphasise the stereo movement that's already in our synth sound. Again, I'm going to click the headphone so I can just identify these frequencies on their own. If I turn up the amount, we can hear this a bit better. Now I'm going to provide a cut to the corresponding mid frequencies. We click this to look at the mid signal. I'm going to just pull these down here. Again, we can solo it to hear it. The good thing about using an adaptive plugin like Bloom on a filtered synth line like this is that as the frequencies filter in and out, we know we're not going to get any resonant spikes. As a result, this just pushes our synth sound out to the sides of the stereo field and it creates space for that acoustic guitar down the middle. Let's hear it all together now. So that's just a few quick ideas of how we can use Bloom in a track. Quickly, let me tell you 3 things I really like about this plugin. Firstly, this UI is really nicely designed. We basically got everything we need in one window. And even if you don't know exactly what the plugin is doing under the hood all the time, it's really approachable and easy to dial in a bit of warmth, character and colour to your tracks. Secondly, because it's adaptive, it's really flattering to whatever audio you feed it. You can apply extreme boosts, cuts and loads of compression, and while this won't always work out, it might surprise you how well sometimes these really heavy-handed treatments can reshape sounds. Also, because we've got this handy A/B function up here, it's really easy to try a subtle and extreme treatment next to each other and work out which one's suiting your track best. Finally, because we've got this low latency mode down here, we can track through Bloom. This could be really handy if you're working with, say, a vocalist or acoustic guitarist and want to capture a really nice, warm and flattering sound as you're recording. So that's Bloom from Oeksound. If you're interested and want to see what it can do to your tracks, you can grab a 20-day free trial now to test it out on your own audio. If you're already using Bloom, let us know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching.